what got into me, but on the basketball court while I was instructing the freshman team some basketball strategy that we had at the university, the thought came to me of managing the ball club. So I sat down and wrote a letter to Mr. Bradley telling him that what I had done in my high school career as a basketball player and baseball player and in college, that I could handle the major league job too as manager, and mailed the letter. Then after I mailed the letter, I was only 24 at that time, and after I mailed the letter, I wanted it back. Became frightened and excited. And I went to my basketball coach, Doug Mills, at that time, and my baseball coach, Wally Retker. Wally was a former major leaguer also, and asked them if they could get that letter back from the mailbox. And they said, no, forget about it. Mr. Bradley will file it in the basket and just laugh at it and forget about it. So they talked me into relaxing and just forgetting about it. I did. But the next 2 days, and then 2 days, I received a call from Mr. Bradley asking me to come in for an interview. I agreed, and then after thinking about it, I went back to Doug Mills and Wally Retker again and said, I don't want to go. That's too much for me. I'm too young, and I made a mistake in trying to figure that I could handle it. And they said, forget about it. Just go in and enjoy it, and just think of it as a great experience. At your age, at 24, being interviewed for a great job. So I forgot about it and went in, took a train into Chicago and then into Cleveland, and was called upon to be questioned by 12 board of directors of the Cleveland Indians. I sat there for 45 minutes to an hour answering their questions as to what I could do or what I would do or what I'd try to do if I was named manager. They asked me to go back out to the office and wait until a decision was made. I did, and I was told afterwards that there was an 85-year-old gentleman on the board of directors, Mr. George Martin, who was chairman of the board of the Sherwin-Williams Paint Company in Cleveland. And he changed the first votes were 11 no's and 1 yes, and he was the only yes for me to be manager. And he changed those other 11 votes of no into yes, and they called me back and they told me I was manager of the ball club. I'll never forget Mr. Martin, and when we won the championship in 1948, Mrs. Martin was alive and sent me a wire telling me how proud George Martin would have been had he been able to live through the 1948 season. It was quite an experience.
That is classic stuff.
Oh, it is.
That's baseball history in a nutshell.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So he had been manager, he had been a player from 38 to 39 at that point. So 2 years in the books. Now he's 24 years old. Excellent shortstop, Hall of Famer as it turns out. And now he's going to become the head of the ball club and manage guys like Mel Harder and Hal Trotsky and guys like that.
Yeah, it was a daunting challenge, really. I'm not sure how the guys looked at it. I know Lou was best friends with Ray Mack, who came up with him from Buffalo. Ray was a Clevelander.
Right.
They were real close friends, and their relationship had to change.
His son Tom, of course, was a great football player at Cleveland Heights and is in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
With the old Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, yeah. His brother, Dick Mack, played a guard for Ohio State football in the Woody Hayes era.
Right.
Yeah. But he had to change his relationship. He couldn't, go out, hang out with the boys or anything. He had to be now the guy in charge. And so, but he seemed to adjust it well. His first year, he hit .283, had a good season, so apparently he was able to handle it and
the
take
48
charge.
year that he had was one of the great shortstop years of all time.
Oh, he was tremendous. He had just hit .355. That's just, for him, that was a career high, 100 RBIs, the home total. He did everything incredibly well.
Let's go.